Palma. Oh,
man.
that's unfair, and Palma 7 points in the game.
Janelle Fuentes.
Oh, wow.
Delgado takes the shot and knocks it down. Maloria is open. 3-point. Oh my goodness! He's a jumper by Robin Celis. Caballero has tied. Now it's Martin Rosso. Turnaround jumper. Oh my goodness.
Last Monday, we were at the San Andres Sports Complex in Manila. Today, we return to Manila, but this time, we are here at the Paco Arena for a Wednesday triple header. And the latest member of the MPBL's 1,000-point club, Axel Inigo, looking to build off his career-high performance, taking on Mark Dubose, quickly becoming one of the must-watch guards in our league today. And that's our games for today. Mindoro taking on Bacolod, followed by the Basilan Viva Port Masters kalaban ang Cebu Classic. And at 8 p.m. Sarangani Gripper will go up against the Manila Batang Quiapo. Magandang hapon mga kaliga. This is the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. Ken Pangilinan alongside Javi Palanya and Javi. Mindoro. Sometimes we've seen them as a contender this season, but there are times na they've played down to the level of their competition, and that could be a dangerous proposition going up against Bacolod.
Tama ka dyan, but that's not what they did against Manila in their last game. So they're looking to build on that momentum from the last game, especially after they lost to Cebu. That was a surprising win para sa lahat ng tao because everybody expected that Mindoro, being the team with the full strength of their roster, will win against the Cebu Classic, who were undermanned in that game. But they vented their ire on the Manila Batang Quiapo in the next game. Here against Bacolod, they're looking to bring in that same type of energy and effort in this game.
And Bacolod, despite their record, they have been competitive for most of the games so far this season. And of course, you're watching us live on Facebook and YouTube, and we are on Solar Sports every Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays starting at 6 p.m. And now we introduce our third member of our panel na maaga ngayon. Palagay ko hindi naman naligaw to, no? Kung alam niya sa Paco Arena ang laro. We have Miss Lyra Punsalan. Lyra, balita ko, may balita ka tungkol kay Axel today.
Ken and Javi, it's nice to join you guys this Wednesday afternoon after hitting 1,000 career points in the league. Very at least nga, itong si Axel Inigo, but for him, it's more than just the stats. Masayang-masaya ako dahil nagja-gel na ang team at mas nagkakakilala na talaga kami, he said. And though medyo veterano vibes na, he's very proud na nakakasabay pa rin siya sa bilis ng liga. Mas espesyal nga ang laro ngayon because with him again is his ever-supportive crew, his parents, his ever-supportive wife Sheila, at ang mga pinsan ni Sheila na nasa bleachers. At ito pa, Axel swears that a secret weapon for his fast recovery is jet boots galing kay Macy's. From family love to full court hustle, Axel's story is proof that the heart of the game goes way beyond the scoreboard. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Lyra. Si Achi hindi ko nakikita. Baka nandyan lang siguro maya-maya. But ito, balikan natin, Javi, yung games natin. Yesterday, we were at the Inares Center in Montalban. Rizal defending their home court against Bataan. Jensan reasserting their mastery over Binyan. But what about Bulacan? That breakthrough win over Paranaque.
Oh, ibang klase yung mga laro natin kahapon. It started out with that game by Bulacan, winning their very first game of the season against a team that's not really much of a pushover, the Paranaque Patriots, but in the second game, maganda rin yung naging laban ng Binyan tsaka Jensan. And in the last game, of course, Rizal, with the help of Eric Camson, leading the way, 2020 performance para sa kanya, dominant performance by the former Adams at Soaring Falcon in leading the Golden Coolers to a victory.
At dahil doon, sa team standings natin, makikita natin, lahat na po ng ating kupunan may panalo na. Bulacan still though, lagging behind, 1-13. Nueva Ecija still undefeated, 12-0.
Of course, Manila will be also playing today later on when they defend their home floor against Sarangani. They hope that they could try and match Marikina with a win today. That's going up against the Sarangani Gripper. And for the other teams, San Juan, Pampanga, Caloocan, Pasay, Pangasinan, Ilagan, Isabela, and Bataan, these teams, along with Pasig City and Quezon City as well, they want to try and maintain their position. But for the guys at the bottom half of the teams that I just mentioned, they would want to increase their position to avoid getting into the play-in spots, which is 8, 9, and 10. dito naman sa Southern Division, Zamboanga continues to reign supreme here, while Muntinlupa is also one of the surprises of this division. Binyan na tapos yung kanilang 7-game winning streak kahapon in that loss to the Gensan Warriors, who are at number 7 right now, while Rizal continues to hold strong on that 4th spot in the Southern Division.
And those wins by Rizal and Gensan yesterday had a huge implication. Kaya ngayon, importante yung laro ng Mindoro and Basilan later on. And ngayon, pag-usapan natin itong Mindoro Tamaraws. Binanggit mo na, Javi, na this time against Manila, they made sure that they got off to a good start and they had a 39-19 first half and never looked back.
Malas ng Manila, sila talaga ang napagbuhusan ng galit ng Mindoro after that crushing win to the Cebu Classic. Everybody thought, as I mentioned, na Mindoro would just cruise over Cebu in that game, but that's not what happened. And Mindoro, you mentioned making sure in this game from the start, dominated the Manila Batang Quiapo. I think this was their best game, shooting from the outside, 15 out of 40 threes, 57 rebounds, and a plus 20 in the points in the paint department. Also shooting it very efficiently overall at 43.5%. He had 5 guys who had scored at least 5 points, of course, led by Axel Inigo's career high 28 points, entering the 1,000 points club in that fashion.
And it's not gonna be a walk in the park against this opponent, itong Bacolod Tubo Slashers. And like I mentioned, despite their losing record, they have been competitive and not much different here against San Juan. Although they were down here by as many as 20 points, Javi, nakahabol sila here in the 4th quarter and they were able to put in some points there.
Yan naman talaga yung Bacolod fighting spirit that they are very so proud to showcase this season. They may not have the big names, but they will definitely be competitive game in and game out. Here against San Juan, they really struggled out of the gates, but that big 4th quarter where they outscored the Knights 30-18 gave them a sliver of hope to try and win that game. Kaya lang they just fell short. So for Coach Pau Havilona, the key here para sa Bacolod in this game against Mindoro is to avoid a slow start, because ayaw naman nila na magka-comeback sila tapos kakapusin ulit sila sa dulo. Alam naman nila na kaya nila makipagsabayan. Makipagsabayan na sila agad sa umpisa pa lang.
Alright, it's the South Division matchup between Mindoro and Bacolod. Now let's go to Richard Campos for the starters.
And now it's time to meet the starters. Let's begin with Mindoro Tamaraws. At forward number 12, Ray Bienes. Guard number 16, RJ Ramirez. Forward number 17, playing assistant coach Joseph Sedoripa. Point guard number 23, June Manso. Playing center number 25, playing assistant coach Ken Bono. The head coach is Benji Teodoro with Kim Cinco and JC Libunao, and playing assistant coach Axel Inigo. The team manager is Maria Cristina Zandra Norte. The team owner, Paula Oriental Mindoro. Honorable Mayor Jennifer Ina Alegre Cruz. Starting 5 for Bacolod Tubo Slashers. Power forward number 0, Chester Saldua. At guard number 2, Richard Movida. Point guard number 9, Mark Dubusay. Playing center number 25, Miles Canyal. And at small forward number 10, JC Ajay. Tubo Slashers is led by Pau Habilona. Assistant coaches Noy Baclao, Emric Sahota, and Briton Habilona. Assistant team manager Kevin Custodio. Referees for this ball game are Mike Kinay, Manuel
Starting 5
Binondo,
brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory, feel more game with 1xBet. And for Mindoro, the backcourt of June Manzo, RJ Ramirez up front, Ken Bono, Ray Bienes, and Joseph Sedoripa. For Bacolod, Mark Dubose, Richard Movida, Miles Canyal, Chester Saldua, and JC Adjay. So Coach Pau opting to roll with a bigger lineup again, Saldua and Canyal together in the front court, and they're avoiding to succumb to their 4th straight loss, while itong Mindoro is they have won 3 of their last 4 games. So very interesting matchup between these two squads in the South Division.
kundi lang dahil sa talo nila against Cebu, they would have been on a 4-game winning streak already. Ito Mindoro Tamaraw having won against Davao, Marikina, and of course Manila just recently. Again, for Bacolod, I want to reiterate that they want to avoid a slow start here against a Mindoro team that is looking to be consistent in these next stretches of games.
That was a good move from Chester Saldua, and ball will stay on their side. Fresh 14 for the Tubok Slashers.
And I think one guy who can definitely help them come out of the hole that they are in right now, itong Bacolod Tubok Slashers, is Chester Saldua, who had a double-double performance in their last game against San Juan, 11 points, 11 rebounds. He gives them a lot of versatility. He can play multiple positions, can stretch the floor para sa kanila. And you know, he's a big that can slide between the 3 and the 4 spots. Can even play the 5 if needed.
Mindoro with 6 seconds on their shot clock. June Manzo has Saldua on him. Puts it up from beyond the arc. Adjay the rebound. Forward pass to Chester Saldua. Kicks it out. Duboze for free. No good. Ramirez the board.
Medyo nauna lang ng konti yung pasa kay Chester Saldua. Could have been an easy 2 points para sa Bacolod, but still a good look. That was an open shot by Duboze from the left flank.
Sedorifa could not hit that shot from beyond the arc, but they get the ball back. Manzo with 12 on their shot clock. Release pass to Brandre Bienes. And this has been their calling card under Coach Benji Todoro. They've been hoisting threes left and right itong Mindoro.
Playing like a team that is very much in this era, you know, attempting almost 30 to 40 shots from beyond the arc every game. That has been one of the major pillars of their offense. Once Coach Benji Todoro took over this squad from Coach Rodney Santos.
Number 1 in terms of 3-point makes and attempts itong Mindoro. As Mark Duboze able to drive straight to the cup. First 2 points para sa Bacolod. Almost 2 minutes gone by here. 10.2 makes a contest and 34.1 attempts from beyond the arc itong Mindoro Tamaraws.
That's crazy, and that's a pretty good clip considering how much they attempt.
Sedorifa has found a stroke during those last 5 games, as this time though he drives and gets the basket.
His resurgence has become very vital in Mindoro's resurgence as well, actually. Talagang nag-iba yung takbo ng mga bagay para sa Tamaraws once they got on a groove. And you know, Sedorifa, it was actually in that first game, I think, that Coach Benji took over, and Sedorifa, I forget who they were up against, but Sedorifa had a good game. Had a good clip from the outside and was very efficient from the field. Scored, I think, almost 20 points in that game.
Now, let's check out this assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Ito lang yung naging problema ng Mindoro when it's Ken Bono who's on the floor. Obviously, Bono is still such a force offensively, but he's not much of a rim protector, as we just saw also here on this particular play. He was there compared to that last play by Duboze, which we featured in our assist of the game. Pero dito, he resorted to fouling Miles Cañal. And Cañal, when he is aggressive, he can get those fouls and finish through contact.
Let's check in with Lyra Bunsalan.
Mindoro Tamaraws head coach Benji Chodoro is locked in on one goal, the playoffs. Wala munang relax, he said, emphasizing that every opponent deserves full respect. But even with high expectations, Coach Benji is also cultivating a happy lang culture, an energy he proudly says came from Mayora Ina. Masayang vibes pero seryoso sa trabaho. The players are now open and transparent, calling each other out with no sugarcoating and stepping up to fill each other's gaps. He's also excited to see more of Ashen Andrews and Ethan Galang continue their resurgence. They've been working hard to get back in rhythm, and it's time. He also wants to send out a clear message that Tamaraws are now united. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Lyra. And that has been pretty much evident as Coach Benji, since taking over, has had a 3-2 record. And kung gawin mo ng panalo sana yung sa Cebu, could have been 4-1. Saldua scores underneath the basket naman para dito sa Bacolod.
I think also maganda yung ginawa nila, you know, when new management took over in the coaching staff with Coach Benji. Maganda yung ginawa nilang playing coaches yung ilan sa mga players nila. Sedurifa, Manzo, and as well as Axel Inigo. Because I think it has helped the players be open to the coaching staff, as Lyra mentioned.
Play of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory, feel more game with 1xBet.
Nagkaroon ng bridge between the players and the coaches. So ngayon, wala na talagang pumapagitan sa kanilang dalawa.
And kita naman sa numbers because in the first 6 games, bago nag-take over si Coach Benji, they were only averaging 71.1 points and 9.4 threes. Although yung threes, medyo impressive na yan pero pagdating ng last 5 games, that was a major uptick from 71 points, naging 92 points per game and 11.4 threes. So that's a +2 3 points made per game in their last 5 games.
Makikita mo kasi sa body language pa lang nila talaga nag-iba na They seem much looser.
Alright, we'll pause for a break. We'll be back. Alright, we just encountered a little bit of technical difficulties. That's why we had to take a break. As Bienes at the line, sablay yung unang free throw. Mindoro is 6-7. Just behind the teams like Gensan, Batangas City, and also up top there, bandang gitna, you've got Rizal and Binyan.
They're currently number 9 right now in the Southern Division. That's a spot that they want to try and avoid. So they want to try and catch up with Imus, Gensan, Batangas.
Chester Saldua for the face-up jumper. Ating score ay 9-6. Bacolod abante ng 3 puntos. RJ Ramirez swings it to Sedurifa. Bounce pass. They quickly move the ball around and it leads to a 3-pointer by Joseph Sedurifa.
He's their leading 3-point shooter. This guy has really led the attack in terms of shots from beyond the arc in this past stretch of games where the success of Mindoro has become even more glaring. It's not really, a big record 3-2 in their past 5 games, but still, you like what you're seeing.
3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances. Joseph Sedurifa averaging 15.3 points in his last 3 games prior to that scoreless outing against Manila. This guy has to get it going para dito sa Bacolod. So Prevega was struggled. And that continues, a miss from 3-point distance. Ramirez, kick out pass again. Sedurifa, lalapit. Ramirez leans right, takes that jumper. And the rebound ends up with Chester Saldua. 9-all ang ating talaan. JC Adjay lobs it up to Kanyal. Not a clean catch. And a steal by Danny Marilao.
If there's 2 guys who need to bounce back in this game for Bacolod, it's JC Adjay and Jan Sobrevega. Sobrevega used to start most of the games for Bacolod at the point guard spot before he was made to come off the bench in this game, as we see another 3-point shot by Sedurifa heating up here in the first quarter.
And he has given Mindoro the lead, 12-9, as we approach 4 minutes remaining here in the first. Saldua, hand off to Richard Movida. Movida for free. Off the heel, rebound. But it will end up with Mindoro. Guys coming in from both sides. This was a three by Joseph.
Just a little jab step to try and put Miles Cañal a little bit off to get some space. Sedorifa capitalizing second three-point shot of the game.
Three-point shooting. The number one team in the league in threes. Already 3 out of 7. Tala, wala pang naipapasok na tres ang Bacolod. Sedorifa supply that time. Comboy, no hesitation, but way off though on that shot.
He's not going to see a shot that he doesn't like. Ito si Ino Comboy.
Sobrevega got fouled by Axel Inigo. 3:20 left here in the first period.
I trust John Sobrevega will have a better game today after he only played 10 minutes in their last game and only attempted 3 shots from the field.
Saldua laban kay Marilao. PJ Intia, 7 on their shot clock. PJ in trouble. Bouncing it off Marilao and only 3 seconds on their shot clock.
The defense of Mindoro has tightened up from those opening possessions to now. It definitely has been better with the entry of some guys from the bench.
Saldua can't hit it. Ball will go back again to the guys in white.
They're shutting down the lanes and they're preventing Bacolod from getting some easy incursions inside the shaded area. Prior to that, they were getting some handoffs and some drives to the basket.
Welcome sight for Bacolod. Anthony White back in. He missed 6 games after getting injured in this very same building against Marikina. As may nahuling humatak kay Jonas Tibayan, it was Ira Batalier. Look at this lineup of Bacolod. Meron din kahit papanong depth eh. May Batalier there. So dito nahuli siya nga dito pumaul kay Jonas Tibayan.
It's definitely no pushover of a squad. These are guys who, a bunch of guys have already seen some action here in the league. But this guy has also had a lot of experience playing here in the MPBL. Danny Marilao faking the handoff there. And Batalier a little bit too lazy, not even staying low on that defensive possession, allowing Marilao to blow by him on that baseline.
And Marilao has had to step up with the absence of Bam Bam Gamalina as a look at Paula Mayer, Jennifer Ina Alegre Cruz. LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL.
He was always so kind to accommodate us when we are in Mindoro. I don't understand na meron pa yatang mga home games ang Mindoro that are coming up.
I think sa June meron eh.
Yes.
Foul call this time on Tibayan. Mindoro in the midst of a 9-0 run after Bacolod led 9-6. So Bacolod in a bit of a funk right now. Aldave Canoy. That pass broken up by Ino Comboy.
See, what they're doing is this length that Mindoro now has on the floor that they didn't have to start when they had Ken Bono at that 5 spot. They didn't really have a lot of versatility and length defensively. Kaya ngayon talagang hirap na hirap ang Bacolod because Mindoro is denying almost all the options. And look, they're really keeping in step and they're switching everything.
Shot clock winding down. White has to put that shot up. And he got bailed out by that foul by Ashton Andrews.
You just hate it if you're a coach when you have your player foul a jump shooter from beyond the arc, especially when there's just a second on the shot clock.
Especially Anthony White, not really known as a three-point shooter. Meron ulit silang i-check Or
I think they're gonna check kung umabot sa oras yung pito.
Okay. Marquina will head to the table to sort things out here. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left. And Mindoro, after a bit of a slow start, they have began to heat up here. They have also clamped down on defense, holding Bacolod to 9 points. Umabot naman eh. So this is gonna be 3 free throws for Anthony White. And his last game was, like I said, against Marikina, so tagal na din yan. It was back in April.
Ayun pa yung kanilang unang panalo.
Yeah, exactly. Makes good on the first. Has 2 more from San Diego, California. Anthony White also had stints with Sarangani and Caloocan.
They didn't really have a lot of playing time in both of those teams, but he's hoping that with Bacolod, he will get the opportunity to really showcase what he can do here in the MPBL.
15-11 now. 4 points the lead of Mindoro. Ino Comboy. Tibayan has struggled from the outside, and that continues. Comboy. Andrews drives. The pass outside to Ino Comboy, who buries a free.
You already got the shot that you wanted. You had Tibayan shooting it from the outside. Not really a good three-point shooter, just as you mentioned. But then you should be able to get the defensive rebound, the offensive rebound, and able them to reset and get it to Ino Comboy, who only needed a little space to launch.
That's one of their problems, rebounding itong Bacolod. Bottom 5 in that department.
Pero kung titingnan mo, Ken, actually yung average height nitong Bacolod, di naman masyado maliit.
Yeah.
They just really don't have a lot of height at the 5 spot.
Comboy again, back-to-back freeze.
And that's the problem when you allow Comboy to get one shot off, and that shot goes in. You allow him another one, his confidence really grows, and he's a streaky shooter.
Intia, the spin. Oh, great move. Leaving his defender in the dust.
He had to redeem himself. He gave Comboy those 2 threes. But now Bacolod needs to get a stop.
Tibayan. Hand off, papunta kay Ashton Andrews. 10 on their shot clock. Andrews trying to break down the defense of Anthony White. Up and under. Andrews floats it up and in.
This guy is definitely a talent. I think there really has been an adjustment process in terms of trying to deal with the physicality. It's really different from the UAAP, of course, when he was still with UP and UST. But Andrews, this is a guy who is a hooper. So once he finds his way into a permanent set into the rotation of Coach Benji Teodoro, which I'm sure bibigyan naman talaga siya ng oportunidad, talagang mapapakita niya naman kung anong kaya niya.
Strong move by the very versatile Aldave Cano in 3-point play opportunity coming up.
Pero itong batang na to, he doesn't need any more adjustments. He really has shown us that he can compete with the big guys here in the league.
Free throw does not go in though, so still a 6-point advantage for the Mindoro Tamaraos. Foul called on Jan Sobrevega.
Yeah, that's a foul that they can give. Still not yet in the penalty. Last foul to give there para sa Bacolod.
Gixer, great move off the game, born for greatness. Ethan Galang, his second game back from his injury. Aldave Canoy puts one up. First quarter comes to a close. And a greatly contested quarter at that between these two teams in the South Division. But this guy got things going early para dito sa Mindoro. Joseph Sedorifa nailing 3 threes for a total of 11 points.
His shooting really put Mindoro on a rhythm, as well as getting it on defensively. 3 3-pointers, 11 points, only guy in double figures. But Comboy also getting 2 triples himself. Mindoro having 5 threes in that first quarter, helping them to this 23-17 advantage.
Coach Pau Havelona is keeping the faith even with their current 2-8 standing in the league. For him, it's not about the numbers, it's about the fight. Most of our losses are dikitan and my boys have actually exceeded my expectations, he shared. With a young and developing roster, he sees promise and potential brewing. This is everybody's ballgame. Ang importante sa akin, mabigyan ng players ko ng chance ang sarili nila every time they're on the court. His mindset is simple but powerful. Keep showing up, keep learning, and keep giving yourself a shot. Because for Coach Pau, belief is the first win. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Lyra. And you know, after their second win against the Parañaque Patriots, puro kasi mga top dogs sa North Division yung nakalaban nila. They went up against Caloocan first, and then Abra, then kasunod yung San Juan. As we see the 3-point shooting in quarter number 1, 5 of 12 ang Mindoro, 0 of 5 naman ang Bacolod. But going back to the Tubo Slashers, Javi, 2 of those 3 games, they were pretty much competitive, especially against Caloocan and San Juan.
Yeah, makikita mo naman talaga na hindi there is pride in the way that they play, even if they are undermanned in terms of talent. But you know, these guys are highly capable of competing here in the league. Sinasabi ko nga kung mag-suit up si Coach Pau Havelona at saka si Coach Noy Baclao, baka magkaroon pa ng mas maraming panalo o mas maganda ang maging tsansa nitong Bacolod Tubo Slashers. These guys can definitely still play. I truly believe it.
Onting push lang, baka pwede pa. Pero that makes a lot of sense, especially they could complement the young players that they have. They have a good core actually. When you look at guys like JC Adjei, Mark Duboze, Aldave Canoy, all homegrown players. And that could be building blocks in the future if ever they want to stick to this unit that they have.
Correct. You know, maybe yun yung tinitingnan nila, no? Kasi itong core nila, this is the first time in a long while that they've had a core that is filled with homegrown players.
It was a reverse layup. Bacolod trims the gap to 9 points, 28-19. Ashton Andrews drives right in traffic. No foul called. Fight for the ball. It ends up with Bacolod.
That's not really a good shot taken there by Andrews. 2 guys converging on him, fading away from the basket. You see here JC Adjei getting a nice pass to Aquino underneath.
Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Adjei has really expanded his game into passing the basketball, looking for the open man. You know, with the attention that he's been getting defensively lately, he's been able to really make his teammates look good.
Ken Bono is back. Fires a pass to Ino Comboy. Already has 3 triples. Missing on that one. Duboze in and out. Lays it up. Almost got it in, but he got fouled.
It's really a gutsy player to see Mark Duboze. In transition, he had an open shooter in Aquino waiting on the left side, but he saw that the defense of Mindoro still wasn't set. I go back to my point that I made in the first quarter when it's Ken Bono that's on the floor for the Tamaraws. Bacolod definitely has that ability to get some baskets inside.
Duboze sinks the first free throw. The Sagay Negros Occidental native. This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Knocks down both, and Mindoro calls for time with 7 minutes and 26 seconds remaining here in quarter number 2. They have a 7 8-point lead, 28-21. Check out our Gixxer fan of the game, born for greatness. Cute naman ang kasama nila. Naka-ribbon pa.
Pet friendly pala tayo dito sa Paco.
Syempre. 28-21 is the count. Bacolod trimming this lead by Mindoro. We have a foul called on Mark Dubose. Sedorifa will trigger it in from the sideline. Ethan Galang. Comboy on the right side. Ken Bono catches. 8 seconds on their shot clock. Bono backing down. Miles Canyal, hook shot. Matik yan.
Defensively, he may be some sort of a liability, but offensively, there is no doubt that Ken Bono is still definitely a major force on the block.
Sumakit daw ulo ni Coach Christian, kakabantay dyan kay Ken Bono eh.
Siyempre, dun sa liga nila.
Oo.
Wala naman kasing ibang makakabantay sa kanila dun sa team nila, kundi siya eh.
Yung mahirap dun eh.
Ang problema, meron nga silang binabantay na Ken Bono. Sino bumabantay kay James Yap?
Oh, isa pa yun. Pero taas ng record nila dun ha.
Oo. One of the leading teams.
30-21, Ajay facing up against Joseph Sedorifa. Forces up a shot. That was tough, but able to get that up and in.
Yun na lang yung kailangan i-improve ni JC Ajay, no? Yung kailang shot selection and how to be efficient at it as well. Only 3 out of 11 from the field in that game against San Juan, although he did still manage to have 8 points.
Pito ulit ang lamang. Sedorifa. There was a bump and a foul against Bacolod.
Ito yung maganda kay Sedorifa pag naumpisahan niyang nakakakamada siya galing sa labas. As we see this, JC Ajay face up and then the turnaround jumper over the outstretched arms of Joseph Sedorifa. Si Sedorifa, pag nakakakumpiyansa galing sa labas sa kanyang mga unang tira, he will not be afraid to attack the basket after that.
First free throw is good for Joseph Sedorifa. Coach Benji Teodoro. Special deal from 1xBet. Scan a QR code and claim your special offer. Cebuano knocks down both. It's back to 9. Dubose put some speed on, but lost control of the basketball on his way up. Inigo. Nilabas kay Galang. Manzo lalapit. Signature teardrop shot does not work. Nakagulang si Axel Inigo. Hits the basket and a foul.
He really is owning up to his veteran status, no, in this league and in this team. Kitang-kita mo naman, outsmarting Dubose, the rookie here in the MPBL, on that rebounds play, getting the best of that matchup, plus an N1 opportunity.
Got a feel for Mark Dubose. Last game, he went up against arguably one of the best point guards in the league. If not, si Orlan Wamar. Tas ngayon, si Axel Inigo naman.
Well, you know, this is the school that he has to attend in order for him to be also at par with those names that you just mentioned.
Anthony White, nasundutan. Clean steal by Ethan Galang. Receives the pass from Axel Inigo and scores. And Mindoro pads up their lead.
Good concentration by Galang. floating a bit in the air, using a bit of hang time, and still finishing the play, getting it off the glass.
Fast break the game brought to you by Extreme X Pop, personal karaoke speaker, everyday karaoke.
Axel Inigo drawing the defense. That was Miles Cañal, enabling Galang to cut through that middle and finish on the break for the Tamaraws.
They're now ahead by 13, 36-23. Comboy against Manila, medyo nag-dip yung numbers, although he did not really have to do the heavy lifting on offense at 11 and 6. But today, boy, he's shooting lights out, 9 points, 3 of 5 shooting from beyond the arc in only almost 7 minutes. And he has really played well as of late at merong kwento si Lyra tungkol kay Ino.
In his sophomore year in the league, Wendell Comboy is stepping up not just with skill but with purpose. Pinag-iigahan ko talaga yung consistency ko, he shared, admitting he feels the pressure now that the league is approaching its halfway mark. With extended playing time and a wealth of experience from other leagues, the expectations on him are higher and he knows it. Alam kong isa ako sa mga binibigyan ng tiwala. Ngayon, gusto ko naman suklian ng suporta ng Mindoro sa akin by playing smarter. Driven by both the challenge and the trust, Wendell is determined to be a key piece in Mindoro's game. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat kay Lyra, and whatever na discover ni Ino Comboy, it has reflected in his numbers. His first 6 games, only 9.2 points, 2.3 threes on 34.5% shooting from the field. But in his last 7, 16.1 points, 3.9 threes on 42.3% field goal shooting. So it has been night and day yung start and yung latest 7 games nito ni Ino as we see PJ Intia score from mid-range.
I feel like the reason for Comboy getting better numbers in these past few games that they've had, and especially also here having a good start against Bacolod, is because he's really picking his spots well. And credit to the guards, really, Manzo, Inigo, and the other guys for really putting him in positions where he can be successful at kung saan di na siya mahihirapan. Kumbaga ititira niya na lang talaga yung bola. Because sometimes there would be scenarios wherein he would try to break down the defense. Although he does have that ability, has a good handle as we see this Manzo incursion inside off the glass, but that was an offensive foul. He can break down the defense with his handle, but of course, there's a better percentage for Comboy kung titira niya na lang.
Malaking tulong din. Meron sang June Manzo there. RJ Ramirez also can play the point. Axel Inigo has come on late.
Nababalasan na ni Coach Benji na maayos yung tao niya. Nakikita niya na kung saan talaga maganda mapupunta yung rotation niya. And he's figuring out all the right combinations. Players that can play well with each other.
We have a challenge. Coach's challenge requested here with 4 minutes remaining in the second period. We'll pause for a break. We'll be back for the result.
The challenge made by Bacolod is successful. To both slashers.
Successful challenge on that last out-of-bounds play by Coach Pau Javelona. It was off June Manzo.
Definitely.
The ball will stay with Bacolod, trailing by 11 points. Ira Batalier. India offering that screen. Batalier still with the basketball. Only 6 on their shot clock. PJ India. 3 seconds remaining. Puts one up from beyond the arc. Way short. And ball will go back to Mindoro.
That play went nowhere. It was stuck on that left side. Batalier took too long with it. And no movement happening on the weak side as well para sa Bacolod.
Ray Bienes. Pinalik muna kay June Manzo. In front of him, Mark Dobose. Sedorifa pops out, but he got caught stepping on the sideline. Babalik ang bola sa Bacolod. They can't seem to break through that 7-point barrier. As you see the turnover story, actually both teams relatively taking care of the ball well in the first half. Aldave Canoy puts it on the deck. Shut down by Ray Bienes. Now he's tasked to guard Chester Saldua. Oh, great defense by Ray Bienes throughout that possession.
Really stayed with him. Ito si Aldave Canoy, si Ray Bienes all throughout that play. But actually, the team defense of the Tamaraos here in the first half, particularly towards that latter part of the first quarter and here in the second period, has been stellar.
Cobra Vega, binabantayan si June Manzo. Manzo spins, floats one up, no good. Fight for the rebound. Maikong ends up with it and falls down as he got bumped by a Bacolod player, PJ Intia.
So India has to realize that Maikong will try to come from out of nowhere, even if he's far away from where the rock is, to really try and get that loose ball para sa Mindoro. Kasi yan ang trabaho niya para sa Tamaraos dito sa sahig.
Offensive foul against Brandre Bienes on that illegal screen. 2:39 left here. Medyo nag-stall na rin yung opensa nitong Bacolod.
It's because really of how Mindoro has been playing them defensively. Kita mo lahat ng options talagang dinideny nila. And they're forcing the ball handler to make tight decisions.
Anthony White, that's a tough decision. Once more, good thing Saldo was there to pick up the offensive board. Aldave Canoy forcing that pass. Anthony White saving it to PJ Intia, who fires a second remaining and knocks that one down from beyond the arc.
Definitely a bailout shot there for Bacolod, but throughout most part of that shot clock, Mindoro once again showing us their teeth defensively.
3-point shot brought to you by Extreme, your one-stop shop appliances.
Amazing save by Anthony White, and good thing he got it into the waiting hands of an open guy in PJ Incha.
Mindoro calls for time with 2 minutes and 6 seconds remaining here in quarter number 2. They still lead by 8, 36-28. Next 3 games of Mindoro are gonna be all in June. On the 5th against the Basilan Vivaport Masters. That's a crucial game. On the 11th against the Sarangani Gripper. And on the 17th, they will take on the Ilagan Isabela Cowboys.
2 from the south and 1 from the north.
Particularly yung matchup nila against Basilan dahil magkadikit sila sa
Correct.
team standings. Same number of losses. Mas marami ng laro. itong Mindoro. Basilan will play later on.
And halos pareho sila ng naging sitwasyon dito sa umpisa ng ating season. You know, highly talented teams in the Southern Division but somewhat struggling to get wins.
Although to be fair, you know, the level of opposition that they've had in their schedule yung first half, Javi, matitindi talaga eh.
Correct, yeah, I definitely agree with that. Pero syempre, when you assemble a roster as good as Basilan's and Mindoro's, of course, management will expect you to generate some wins even against the strongest teams. But obviously, it's a process that new teams have to go through, especially when it's a strong team. You know, you really have to see how players can gel with each other.
They did have wins though. Yung una nga against Binyan, that was an eye-opener. That was a road win as June Manzo scores. And the other one was that big win against the #1 team right now in the Zamboanga Sikat. Sombre Vega inside, wala pa din. Tapikan ng bola, napunta kay June Manzo. Isang minuto na lalabi sa pangalawang yugto. Manzo for free, no good. Saldua grabs another rebound. Sana magbababa para sa Bacolod. Intia thought about it. Bumangga sa pader kay Jonas Tibayan. But there was also a foul. Assist of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Overplaying there was Sobrevega on the denial, which allowed Manzo to cut baseline. Pass on point coming from Ray Bienes.
2 shots will be given here to PJ Intia. Those are his averages. Averaging close to 10 points and 4 rebounds. But missing on the first free throw. Now in for Mindoro is Alex Terwell.
I think this is his season debut.
Yeah. Ngayon ko lang siya nakita eh. You have to double check that, but I haven't seen his stats on the our website. So probably this is his first game for the Tamaraws.
That's another big to the number of picks that they already have on their team.
Oh, all the way. Chester Saldua though, missing on a gimme, but he was asking for a foul. June Manzo gets it back from Brandre Bienes. Shot clock is off. They can opt for the final shot here. Manzo will milk the clock. 7 seconds remaining against JC Adjay. Manzo, the cross, the spin, the pass palabas. Maikong double pumps that shot. And that signals the end of quarter number 2. And Mindoro and Bacolod fiercely battling for the first 20 minutes of game action. But Mindoro though in front at the half. It's 38-29. Mindoro with a 9-point lead.
Manny Pacquiao is annihilating Oscar De La Hoya. That is the most spectacular one-punch shot of Manny Pacquiao's incredible career. And he fights his way off and goes down again. Straight left hand for Manny. Does he have Cotto in trouble? Manny Pacquiao is a storm. Another huge left hand by Pacquiao. Punch after punch after punch. And he knocks the straight left hand. And there's the punching down. Look at the brilliant accuracy of Manny Pacquiao. Landing with both right and left hands. This is why we use the word sensation.
You're still tuned into Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. It is halftime of our first game between Mindoro Tamaraws and Bacolod Tubos Slashers. Ako po si Lyra Ponsalan at kasama natin ngayong hapon ang team owner of Mindoro Tamaraws, Mayor Ina Alegre, and of course the assistant coach of Bacolod Tubos Slashers, Coach Briton Havilona. Mayora Ina, it's nice to see you again. And of course, Coach Benji reiterated earlier that your support is keeping them in high spirits with you cultivating this happy culture. Para sa inyo po, gaano ka-importante yun para sa mga players?
Actually, hindi ko masyadong marinig, no? Anyway, syempre, para sa lahat ng Mendoreños, napaka-importante ng panalo namin, ano? Para at least makapasok naman kami sa playoffs. Ang tagal na namin pangarap for almost 5 years or 6 years ako na nandito sa MPBL. Pangarap talaga namin na makapasok kami sa playoffs.
And just like what Coach Benji said nga po, you're keeping this very happy culture for the players. How do you think that is important po para sa kanila? And of course, greetings na din para sa mga Mendoreños na patuloy na nagsusuporta sa inyong team.
Like Coach Benji said, no, sobrang happy ako sa mga players kasi para kami talagang isang pamilya na nag-uusap-usap every now and then. And si Coach Benji talaga, siya yung nagbibigay ng time na, eto talaga yung gagawin natin, and nilalapit niya talaga yung mga players sa team owners. No, lalo na ako talagang full support ako kay Coach Benji at sa lahat ng mga players. And sa lahat ng mga Mendoreños, malapit na po. June 21, abangan nyo po sa Mindoro. Nandyan po kami siyempre sa Polo Gymnasium. Abangan nyo po, sana support nyo po rin ang Mindoro Tamaraws at lahat ng team ng MPBL. And thankful tayo sa MPBL.
Maraming salamat, Mayor Ina Alegre of the Mindoro Tamaraws. And now, to my right, we have Assistant Coach Briton Havilona of the Bacolod Tubos Slashers. Coach, both you and Coach Pao have been so supportive and your players are so happy of how encouraging the culture is for Bacolod. Can you share what are the adjustments that's gonna take place for the second half?
Kailangan namin execute namin yung play na binibigay ni Coach Pao. And yun, i-encourage pa rin ni Coach Pao na gawin yung lahat na makakaya sa loob. Alam naman natin yung mga taga Bacolod, kahit na maliit, lalaban talaga.
Any greetings?
Nagpapasalamat kami sa Delta Sportswear, kay Boss Dominic, Madam Amalia, Boss Vito, and Boss Gael. And hello sa family ko dyan sa Bacolod, sa mama ko, nandito nanonood. And sa wife ko, kay Jerry Pearl, sa anak ko, kay Kuya Trey and Tayshan. And sa mga taga Bacolod, madamo gid nga salamat sa pagsuporta nyo sa Bacolod. Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Coach Briton Havilona of Bacolod Tubos Slashers. Magbabalik po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
At the half, we have Mindoro ahead over Bacolod 38-29. And you see the field goal shooting here, 43% para dito si Mindoro compared to only 33 para sa Bacolod. Pero yung malaking bagay dito, Javi, was the 3-point shooting again itong Mindoro.
Yeah, that really started them on a huge run in that first quarter that gave them the lead after Bacolod was a bit in control in the first parts of that first quarter. But that 3-point shooting and the improved defense as well of the Tamaraws, yun talaga nagbigay sa kanila ng kalamangan and helped them maintain it. Ken Bono started this game, although he didn't really contribute defensively, which gave Bacolod the opportunity to take the lead early on. Pero pagpasok niya ulit, maganda naman yung pinakita niya sa opensiba nitong Mindoro Tamaraws, just as Joseph Sedorifa has been doing the entire game with 13 points.
Already eclipsing his season averages, ito si Joseph Sedorifa. Ino Comboy with 9 points. While for Bacolod, PJ Intia, the lone guy in double figures with 10 points. And missing there is Aldiv Canoy, though he had that impressive attack in the basket, but that was his lone field goal in the first half. Second half underway. We are now in quarter number 3. Bacolod opens up with the possession. That's a good pass, but Saldua can't finish in traffic. Comboy traveled. But that was a good attack by Bacolod to begin the quarter.
Saldua has been missing some shots from up close.
Duboze, JC Adje, Aldiv Canoy, Chester Saldua, and Miles Canyal, the 5 para dito kay Coach Pau Havelona.
I think Canyal's got to get involved here offensively.
The pass, Canoy attacking the closeout. Drop pass inside, Saldua still can't finish. And ball ends up with Mindoro.
That's like 3 missed baskets from point-blank range para kay Saldua in this game, and 2 of those claiming he got fouled.
For Mindoro naman, Ino Comboy, Axel Inigo, Ken Bono, Danny Marilao, and Joseph Sedorifa. The Tamaraw still playing without Bam Bam Gamalinda, as Axel Inigo looks like he got hurt on that last play.
I think he hit his head on the floor.
Duboze was arguing that Inigo was the one who initiated contact. Pero hindi in the act, so baseline inbound lang para dito sa Bacolod. Sorry, for Mindoro.
Oh, it's going to be 2 shots? I think they're going to give him free throws.
Quickly reviewing this one. Axel Inigo is one of the best free throw shooters in the league so far. 87%. Coach Pau Havelona trying to rally his team here. Axel, pasok yung unang free throw. Had 28 points, his career high in the MPBL. 19 of those coming in the second half and 8 triples.
Pag Inigo talaga yung last name mo, talagang shooter ka eh.
No? Sino yung mas shooter sa dalawa? Yung tanong.
I think Achi has something to say about that. Pero halos pareho sila ng mechanics eh, no?
Oo. Actually,
Pati yung
both
forma
have
ng
good
tira.
form. The way they set their feet. Actually, mechanics nila maayos eh. That's why both of them are also good free throw shooters.
But also, aside from being good shooters, high IQ basketball players, both Inigo brothers. That's why you love to have each of them on your team. Because you already have a good shooter, you have a threat from the outside. Tapos meron ka pang magaling na point guard. Pero ito, magaling na sentro. Ken Bono, as long as he gets it up close, 9 times out of 10, that's gonna be a basket.
13 puntos ang lamang. Canoy, jab step, 3-point shot. Does not work.
he's been limited to attempts like that. Not really in a position to use his creativity when compared to when he's near the basket or at the elbow. At here, in Bono, there is resistance in front of him, but obviously not enough coming from Chester Saldua. Bono overpowering him for that deuce.
Mindoro tying their biggest lead at 13. Has a chance to increase that even further on this possession, but they cough it up. Bola babalik sa Bacolod. Oh, and Miles Cañal able to escape. Plays it up and in.
Yan lang talaga yung isang sakit ni Ken, no? Especially pag nagkamali siya at makita nilang mabagal bumaba. Cañal took advantage of that. Good recognition as well from Sobrevega, who was able to see Cañal.
Pass for the game brought to you by Extreme X Play on the go speaker. Take your music anywhere. Kitang-kita sa replay. Bono was 2-3 steps behind Miles Cañal. Aldiv Canoy before the basket. A foul whistle on Joseph Sedorifa.
I like the adjustment made there by Coach Pao Havilona. Instead of having Cañal just get set up on the block there, they put Canoy there against Sedorifa. He has the height advantage. At wala rin masyadong magagawa si Canoy if they try to give him the ball from beyond the arc.
Saldua receives the pass. Now he's backing down the much smaller Inigo. He's gonna be teed up here. Yeah. For faking a foul.
Sobrevega was already wide open. He was asking for the ball. This is going to be a free throw para sa Bacolod. Good opportunity for them to get a basket here and possibly make this a 3-point or 4-point swing in their favor.
Aldiv Canoy. Ooh, that one rattles out.
Sakit na mga ganong klaseng mintis, no?
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to catch up. Every point counts.
Chester Saldua open from mid-range. Wala. JC Adje with an athletic putback plus a foul.
That's only his second basket here this afternoon. Off the inbound, Saldua had an open look. He's really struggled from the field today, but good thing Adje is there. Nobody putting a body on him.
3-point play opportunity for JC Adje. LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL.
I think Bacolod should recognize this, that as long as Ken Bono is on the floor, there is opportunity for them to get something going inside the paint.
Inigo, tightly guarded by Sobrevega. 3 minutes gone by here in the third period. Comboy steps back for 3, way off the mark. Canoy the rebound. Sobrevega, forward pass. As Adje got pushed from behind by Ino Comboy.
I like the forward pass by Sobrevega. He's not just trying to dribble it out into their front court, you know, waiting for the defense to set up. He's getting it to the man ahead.
Saldua. Now gives it up to Sobrevega. No hesitation on that 3-point attempt. Canoy skies high for the rebound. Cut by Sobrevega, but blocked by Marilao. Saldua recovers. 9 on their shot clock. Chester. Up and under. Oh, nifty move and footwork by Chester Saldua.
That's a gorgeous finish from Saldua. This hopefully can get his confidence back up.
Marilao sa loob. Wala pa din. Nakuha ni Andrews yung bola. Ramirez. Fight for the ball. The rebound ends up with Canoy. Sobrevega. He may not be scoring, but he has created quite an impact in this quarter.
I definitely agree. Although the numbers don't really show it, only with 2 assists in this game. As we see here, this nice move by Chester Saldua.
Play of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
As long as there is no guy aside from Ken Bono that is on the floor trying to guard the paint for Mindoro. Marami talagang magiging oportunidad ng Bacolod na makatira sa loob.
Kanyal, this is not really strong suit. Only 38.5% from the free throw line this season. But splits a pair.
But he's the guy who attempts a lot from the free throw line. One of the leaders, I think, in free throw attempts for Bacolod this year.
It's really funny how he gets fouled a lot, no?
Well, I don't think it's surprising for me considering how aggressive he can get, really, especially against bigs who are slower than him.
Ganda ulit ng pasa, pero nasundot nga lang ni Sedorifa. Nashon Andrews to Ramirez. Susugod sa loob. Bono is open for free. Too strong.
They gotta run. They gotta run.
Bacolod. 8-0 blast. Ajay was foiled in his attempt, but Saldua able to intercept that pass. Pagkakataon para sa tubo slashers. Ajay sets his feet, fires. No good. Kanyal grabs the offensive rebound. Aldiv Canoy pulls up off to the left. Past the halfway point of the third period. Ramirez will slow things down here for Mindoro. Bagsak si Kanyal. Now he's up. And Jonas Tibayan could not catch the pass.
I think Ken Bono wanted Miles Kanyal to get teed up. He thought that it should have been a flop. Pero nakita naman natin, from our vantage point, he really got hit. That's why he fell down.
Nalabas muna sila dito ni Sedorifa in favor of June Manzo and Ethan Galang. Bacolod just down by 5. Sombre Vega. At the elbow, Chester Saldua facing up now, guarded by Tibayan. Ajay, same spot, same result, a miss. Rebounding battle ensues and a foul whistled against Anthony White.
I'd rather have JC Ajay try to get something going inside, put the ball on the deck and attack the basket rather than taking those challenge threes.
Sorry, that was Saldua called for that personal foul. We have a timeout on the floor. Mindoro with a 5-point lead. Chester Saldua with a big-time double-double performance against San Juan. 11 points, 11 rebounds. All of his points coming in the last 2 quarters. And for more on Chester, let's go to Lyra.
Chester Saldua, it's all about intentions, and his are clear to help the team in every way he can. Everything I do is to help the team. I just want to share what I've learned from my basketball experiences. While he admitted he has other things going on off the court, Saldua remains committed to the grind. He shared that he's slowly but surely getting back to his physical form. Unti-unti na akong bumabalik sa game and I'm physically feeling better. Whether it's through vocal support, guidance in practice, or hustle minutes on the floor, Chester's presence is a quiet but steady anchor for Bacolod. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Lyra. And si Chester Saldua kasi, as RJ Ramirez knocks down that shot from 20 feet, meron din siya mga minamanage na business. I think he has a total of 3 businesses that he manages. And, it's been a hard task for him juggling that in his playing stint here with Bacolod. Pero, naintindihan din naman ng management ng Bacolod and he's letting him have his way of play here dito sa Tubo Slashers. And he's not a young guy anymore, unlike in seasons past. But yung energy, and that character that he could provide para dito sa Bacolod could do wonders for them.
Yeah, that's the reality of life that many of our players really have to face. Sometimes there needs to be some added income coming in, and for the case of Chester Saldua, 3 businesses is definitely no joke. Isipin mo, 3 yun yung iniisip niya, tapos iisipin niya pa kung paano siya makakontribute dito sa kanyang team, being one of the lead veterans on this squad. Certainly no easy feat. You have to admire players like Saldua who take it in stride and still really try to put on a good show for all of us.
We have a close game so far. Galang, long three-pointer, does not work. Ashton Andrews outworking everybody for the stick back.
This is where I like him the most. When he's going for those loose balls, getting those offensive rebounds, and put it right back in compared to when he's trying to just, dribble a lot and trying to make the defense pay for it. But here, his energy, his athleticism is almost second to none dito sa team ng Mindoro.
Bacolod calls for time and the lead has been up to 7 points, 46-39. Our fan of the game is brought to you by LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Happy to have you with us here on a Wednesday afternoon dito po sa Paco Arena. Martin Gozom and the rest of the Sarangani Gripper will play later on itong Manila Batang Quiapo, seeking to defend their home court. But right now, Bacolod and Mindoro intertwined, and just 7 points separating these two squads at the moment. Sobre Vega now to Kanyal in traffic, can't get a layup to go. Andrews, another rebound.
Sayang, maganda sana yung naging setup doon ni Sobre Vega kay Miles Kanyal, able to sneak in a shot past 2 defenders.
10 seconds sa shot clock. Ramirez. That one masyado matulis, but poor pass by Miles Kanyal. Even Galang getting the steal. He gets the ball back from June Manzo. Galang puts his moves on. Goes up strong and falls down. Got fouled in his drive to the basket. So Galang will go to the line. Former UE Red Warrior. Fresh off his stint in the UAAP. And brings some versatility at that 3 and 4 spot, as we would like to inform you that we have a special deal from 1xBet. Scan a QR code and claim your special offer.
And he can hit a shot from the outside, can put the ball on the deck just as we've seen.
Galang though could not hit his free throws. Pito pa rin ang lamang. Somehow, surprisingly, a low-scoring affair. Defense has been the name of the game in this match between Mindoro and Bacolod. PJ Intia for 3. That one pops out. Bagsak si Tibayan at si Kanyal. Foul called on Miles Kanyal. Di makapaniwala si Miles. Already his 3rd foul.
Bacolod experiencing 2 shots that were already supposed to go in the past 2 possessions. This could have been a 5-0 run that supposedly could have trimmed this to just a 2-point lead.
Ramirez crossing the timeline. Lobozay is back in for Bacolod. Manzo, corner. Release pass to RJ. Andrews, thought about it. Puts it on the deck. Sedorifa peeks at the clock. 3 seconds left. Forces up a free. No good. Chance for Bacolod to inch closer. Dubuze. Wide open but can't hit it. Kanyal and Andrews getting entangled. Kanyal has been in part of a couple of skirmishes in the last 2 plays.
This is not good if he's going to get called for something here. But I understand that, you know, from looking at that past sequence, I think that both players will at least be given a warning. Pero mukhang double foul at least rin eh. Kasi they were entangled with each other. Second motion there from Andrews. And also the retaliation from Kanyal. He's going to be somebody that Bacolod might miss here because he already has 3 personal fouls. And if he's going to get his 4th, I'm sure that Coach Pao Havilona will put in heavy consideration for him to take a seat first at the start of the 4th quarter. And that's going to be a big loss para sa kanila. And considering the
Foul number 24,
exchange that they're
Ashton
in right
Andrews,
now,
penalty.
trying to
Third
trim this
foul
deficit.
on Ashton Andrews. Technical foul on Ashton Andrews. Technical foul on number 25, Miles Kanyal. Both were unsportsmanlike behavior.
Alright.
Fourth foul on Ashton Andrews.
So foul on Andrews. Mindoro is over the limit. And then double technicals called on the Ashton Andrews and Miles Kanyal.
But because there was a personal foul called first on Andrews, it's going to be 2 free throws for Kanyal dahil penalty na dito ang Mindoro. The technicals canceled out, but the personal foul will enable Kanyal to through to the free throw line right now.
To your point, 4 na nga foul ni Miles Kanyal dito. Ooh, missing on the first free throw.
Bacolod 8 out of 14 now from the free throw line.
Kanyal 2 out of 4.
As a team, they really have to improve their percentage from the charity stripe.
6 of 10 naman ang Mindoro. Kanyal, pasok na yung pangalawa. Papaltan muna siya dito ni Chester Saldua. Lead is just at 6 though. This is a crucial defensive stand for Bacolod. Ramirez. Quick free. Clearly going for that 2-for-1 opportunity.
That's the first 3-point shot for Mindoro in a while here. Bacolod did a very good job of really preventing them from heating up from beyond the arc. But Saldua missing another one from up close.
That was actually another wonderful setup job by Mark Dubuze. Instead, they gave Mindoro a shot to get it off in their last possession. Ray Bienes, no. And that signals the end of the third. Mindoro just clinging on to this lead despite multiple attempts of Bacolod to fight back in this game. Highlights of the game brought to you by Sip Plus, the official hydration partner of the MPBL. Elevate your hydration.
Yeah, Bacolod's gonna go on a run that's gonna trim the gap to maybe 1 or 2 baskets. But after that, Mindoro will always have an answer. You know, timely baskets that have been made by that guy, Joseph Sedorifa, has helped the Tamaraws maintain this lead here in this game.
And we head into quarter number 4. Lamang pa rin ang Mindoro Tamaraws ng Siam kontra sa Bacolod, 49-40. Head of Operations, Emer Oreta, Commissioner Captain Marbel, Kenneth Duremnes, and Head of Security, Rudy Distrito. In attendance for our first game at hand, Mindoro and Bacolod. Mindoro with the first possession of the fourth. A chance to increase their lead back to double digits. It's been a game of runs. Mindoro though, still holding steady. Ray Bienes. Sedorifa. That one won't work. JC Ajay will push it. 23-17, 15-12, and then 11 apiece in the third quarter. Tapikan ng bola. Bono grabs it. Sedorifa pushing it. Third quarter field goal shooting. Both teams really putrid to say the least. 25% for Mindoro, 4 of 15 lamang para sa Bacolod.
That third quarter was really a battle of attrition. Talagang patibayan ng loob. You know, Bacolod just really trying to hang in there.
Sedorifa. Another strong performance. 17 points. One more free throw, and it's brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
One of 3 playing assistant coaches for the Mindoro Tamaraos this season, Joseph Sedorifa.
Bam Gamalindas, still in street clothes. Re-injured his knee. Ramirez behind the back. Extra pass. June Manzo finishes.
You could see just from that particular play, yung talagang togetherness at pagsasama nitong Mindoro Tamaraos. Unselfish on the fast break, you know. Ramirez could have taken it for himself, but he wants to make his teammates happy, and Bienes still giving it up on the left side to June Manzo, who actually started the fast break.
Fast break the game brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme Magpalamig, free installation for split-type air conditioners. Finally, Saldua knocks down, this time a free. So lead back down to 10.
Let's see if they can get some stops here. It's important that Bacolod should avoid getting into a deep hole. You know, we're already in the fourth quarter, 8 minutes remaining. Still a lot of time, but obviously you don't want to try and play catch-up the whole 8 minutes of the way. That's an open shot for Chester Saldua. Surely that will do wonders to his confidence after he's missed a lot of shots from up close.
Kanoy going up strong against Bono. Sedorifa with another rebound. His 5th of the ball game.
Kanoy has really struggled today. Only
Bienes.
2 points.
Manzo floats it up and in.
Patented one-hand hook shot.
And again, they take advantage of Ken Bono running back a little bit late on defense. 55-45. Ray Bienes with June Manzo, Ken Bono, RJ Ramirez, and Joseph Sedorifa. They up and under. Wily move by June Manzo.
Manzo taking Sobrevega to the weight room, banging bodies on the block.
Kanoy spins into trouble. Off the ball, JC Ajay and RJ Ramirez. Cooler heads prevail. Ooh. Ino Comboy comes back in. Nalabas muna si RJ. Papalamig muna. Anthony White is subbed out here by PJ Intia. Free throws coming up for Aldave Kanoy. Bit of a struggle here for Kanoy. Only 2 points. Does have 6 rebounds. Ooh, has missed both free throws so far.
He's 1 out of 6 from the field.
8 of 12, Mindoro at the line. Bacolod is 10 out of 17. 57-46. Ino Comboy fires and nails a free.
Just an easy shot para sa kanya coming out of that handoff. When you give him that space, just that little space to get his shoulders squared and to get his feet set towards the basket. See here, you can't go under if you're Jan Sobrevega. You got your hand up, but it was just too late. He already had that shot launched.
This is now the biggest lead for Mindoro at 14. The cut by Comboy. And 5 straight points for the former FEU Tamaraw.
14 puntos na sa laro para kay Ino Comboy. Very simple. Get it to the post, cut through the middle. Poor defensive stance by Bacolod the last 2 times.
16 points. Back with us here inside the Paco Arena in Manila. And Mindoro has increased their lead up to its biggest at 16, 62-46. But still a lot of time left if you're Bacolod to catch up.
Remember, no lead is safe for this Bacolod squad. Down by 18 entering the 4th quarter against San Juan, and they still managed to make a game out of it.
Bacolod though has been outscored by 7. 13-6 here in the 4th period. Saldua was fouled on his way to the basket.
If they're gonna try and make a run, they better try and make it now.
Chester Saldua. First free throw does not work. Won a championship with Davao Occidental back in Season 3. Special deal from OneXBet. Scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Wala parehong free throw ni Chester.
He's usually a decent free throw shooter.
This season though, only 25%. Manzo snakes his way inside, but that floater that time will not drop. Canyal was held by Branre Bienes.
But you know, I do understand what Saldua might be going through. Sometimes it's really more of the mental game that you try and overcome. You have shots that you usually take, shots that you usually make, pero namimintis mo. Sometimes you think too much about it na talagang biglang nagiging iba yung mechanics mo or nagiging iba yung bitaw mo.
Here he is, face-up jumper by Chester. That time, better looking stroke.
All is definitely not yet lost here para sa Bacolod. They need to get a number of stops here consecutively at that.
9 points, 10 rebounds for Saldua, closing in on another double-double. Comboy. In front of him is JC Adje. Ken Bono for free, short. The tap, Adje, quick pass. Canyal catches, lays it up and in. Quick timeout by Coach Benji Todoro with 5 and 13 left here in the 3rd period. And a run by the Tubo Slashers. Miles Canyal catching that gorgeous feed from JC Adje, and Bacolod only down by 12, 62-50.
Para sa akin kasi medyo inconsistent yung mga games namin. Normal lang naman as a new team. Tsaka bago lang rin kami magkakasama. Yun yung kailangan namin i-work on, yung consistency namin. And kailangan namin mas mag-gel pa para yung chemistry namin mas maging tight.
Comboy talking about their inconsistencies throughout the season so far. But tonight, a picture of excellence. 14 points, 4 frees in limited minutes for Wendelino Comboy.
And he and his team have really weathered every storm that Bacolod has tried to set upon them. And it's been mostly because of this outside shooting. Bacolod tries to get on a run, trim the gap to a significant number of points, and then a 3-point shot by Mindoro, cooling it down.
9 frees already for the Tamaraws. Kanyal can't hit the putback.
Just one off their average of 10.
Ooh. Unsportsmanlike foul against RJ Ramirez. As he tried to escape the defense of Aldave Canoy. He has been really hot
Yeah.
in the fourth quarter. He had that skirmish earlier with JC Adjei.
Yeah, there was the elbow to the midsection. Although hindi naman gaano kalakas, no, yung naging force. But obviously not a basketball play. And that's something that our referees, di nila papalampasin yan.
Has to be careful here because this is still a long game.
Yeah. Marami pang pwede mangyari dito. Especially in moments like this, we've seen how one unsportsmanlike foul can change the complexion of a game.
Now our referee will troop over to Richard Campos to give out the official verdict. Looks like RJ will be called for
Unsportsmanlike foul, number 16, RJ Ramirez, for excessive hard contact.
Excessive
First
hard
foul
contact.
on RJ Ramirez.
So Canoy at the line. But it's been a struggle for him tonight. Only 3 points.
It's been a struggle for the entire Bacolod team at the free throw line. But Canoy, yes, Mindoro's defense, they've really recognized yung mga usual contributors nitong Bacolod and they've shut them down.
Yeah, Duboze, JC Adjei, Aldave Canoy, all have struggled here. As well as Saldua. Those are their 4 double-digit scorers so far this season.
Si PJ Incha pa nga ang kanilang leading scorer so far in this game with 12 points. The only guy in double figures.
Kanyal gives it up to Chester Saldua at the post. Aldave Canoy. And foul called on Mindoro. That's their 14th foul.
No, penalty na
they're
dito,
in penalty.
Mindoro.
Yeah.
So more free throws here for Canoy.
Canoy at the line. Wala pa din. Aldave Canoy. 2 of 7.
He's a 64.3% free throw shooter this season. Wow.
And when you have those kinds of misses, you know it's getting to him. RJ Ramirez will settle it down. A blown opportunity for Bacolod.
Indeed. That could have easily been a 4 or 5 point stretch for Bacolod.
India, drop pass. Aldave Canoy making sure of that this time.
But this is definitely still manageable. 12-point lead, under 4 minutes to play. But of course, Mindoro, if they're smart, they're gonna try to burn as much clock as they can in these next few possessions.
Bienes using that combo screen. Saldua with his 11th rebound. Chester all the way and finally gets a shot in at the rim.
That shot by Bienes was not a good shot at all. Just as I was saying that they should try and slow down the pace, get late into their shot clock. He takes a hurried one, which leads to this fast break by Bacolod. Saldua finishing, cutting this lead just to 10.
Next 3 games of the Bacolod Tubo Slashers on June 2 versus Val City Magic on June 10 against the Bulacan Cuyas, and on June 17 laban sa Sarangani Gripper. And probably all winnable games if you ask me, Javi, for Bacolod.
I certainly agree. With the way that they're playing, it's consistency for them that they have to work on. Saldua duplicating his numbers from that game against San Juan, 11 and 11 again in this matchup against the Mindoro Tamaraos.
Mamaya ang Basilan, mga katunggali, ang Cebu in that Mindanao versus Visayas showdown. 10 points the lead. Mindoro not yet out of the woods. Bienes cuts. Back to Eno Comboy. Right wing 3 does not fall. Kanyal the rebound.
They have to get something quick here.
Ajay. Kick out pass. Kanoy has struggled. And that continues. Saldua patient but gets blocked. And he's holding on to his knee. Sedorifa is open. Makes them pay with a 3.
Ang sakit yan para sa Bacolod. Playing 4-on-5. Obviously, there would be one guy who would be wide open, and it was Sedorifa.
Ajay, strong move. Cuts it to 11. 2:27 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Comboy has the speed advantage over Kanoy. Sends it to Sedorifa, who now has 21 points. Bono, mouse in the house for the former UAP MVP.
That's a smart move. You go into your guy at the post against someone who already has 4 fouls in this game in Miles Kanyal and Ken Bono. That's just basic vintage Ken Bono. Back down, one dribble, easy shot. The baby hook from the former Soaring Falcon.
Mindoro in penalty. Saldua at the line. Oh, those free throws are gonna haunt Bacolod. Just too much missed on that end. 11 out of 24. Make that 12 out of 25. Only 48%. Had they made, well, syempre, hirap na mo, perfect sila sa line, no? But, theoretically, they would be in the lead had they made all their free throws.
Yeah, at least they get most of those misses made. For me, an ideal percentage for a team is 70 to 80%.
It'll be much closer. Siguro mga 2-possession game, no?
That really is gonna be a different scenario para sa kanila kasi syempre offensively they will not really have to rush as much as they are doing right now, and defensively masyadong hindi na sila ganun ka-uptight.
PJ India in transition. Ooh, the scoop and the hoop for PJ India. Lead still at 10 though. Kanoy called for the foul. Not yet in penalty are the Tubo Slashers. Only their 13th foul. Assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game. We're in 1xBet.
A rare fast break opportunity para kay Aldave Canoy tonight.
Ray Bienes lost it. Canoy. Bacolod with an opportunity. PJ Intia gets clipped in the arm by Ino Comboy.
I thought he hung in the air way too long.
Intia will troop to the line. This guy actually has been consistent for Bacolod. I mean, in terms of the points, at least 8 points in each and every game. Sablay nga lang yung una free throw ni PJ.
I'm sure Pao Avelona trying to plot the things that he will do in their next practices. I'm sure free throw shooting is definitely tops on that list.
1:22 left. Mindoro with a 9-point lead. Trying to even out their record at 7-7. India falls down. Sedorifa will milk the clock. 10 seconds remaining. Bono at the block. Cut again. Bienes inside. No. Gets it up. Wala pa din. Duboze goes up for that nifty layup. Still a chance for Bacolod. Down by 7, 50 seconds to go. The pass to Ino Comboy. They will burn some time here. 40 seconds remaining. 9 on their shot clock. Comboy dancing with Duboze. Last second dish for Bono. And that was the dagger.
Imagine, Ken Bono starting this game but not really being able to contribute right away. But as soon as he came off the bench the first time, he's been a factor in this game para sa Mindoro. Now with 11 points, including this one, could be the final 3 nails in the coffin.
And Mindoro just right about their average. 11 triples. And that last one sealing the deal. And holding off this really pesky and young Bacolod Tubo Slasher squad for their 7th win. And they had to do those wins. Sedorifa. Ninyog on top of the Puto Bumbong. And that's gonna do it for our first game. How about Joseph Sedorifa with another superb outing?
Yeah, that's definitely gonna count. That's well within the time. Still 2 seconds on the game clock. Joseph Sedorifa, 6 triples tonight. What another classic performance from beyond the arc coming from Joseph Sedorifa.
Mindoro improves to 7-7 and now have a fighting chance of making some noise in the South Division. Our best player of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. Your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
Sedorifa, it was his shooting that really sparked everything here in this game para sa Mindoro. When his shots started to fall in that first quarter, they got the advantage and they never looked back after that. Although they've had more turnovers than Bacolod in this game, it's really his shooting that has paved the way for them to preserve this victory and get their 4th win in 5 games.
And Mindoro, as a result, winning this one 76-63 over Bacolod. Joseph Sedorifa with 24 points and really set the tone early para dito sa Tamaraws and enabling them to grab this important victory. Let's go courtside to Miss Lyra Punsalan.
Joseph Sedorifa, congratulations on your 2nd Best Player Award this season. You scored 11 points sa first quarter pa lamang and you're truly been consistent all throughout the game. Anong sikreto sa performance mo ngayong araw?
Maybe siguro dahil sa mga teammates ko again. Magaling sila eh. Then siniset up nila ako, tutulungan nila akong makuha ko yung shots ko. Siguro yun lang.
And your next game is against Basilan na very eager din para mag-consistent yung mga panalo nila. How will you prepare to secure back-to-back wins?
Siguro back to 0-0 kami. Wala pa. Just 7 wins, I think. It's nothing. So parang trabaho lang next game.
May mga gusto ka bang pasalamatan, lalo na sa mga taga-suporta ng Mindoro Tamaraws?
Papasalamat kami sa ako pala sa Mindoro Tamaraws, the LGUs, the supporters, the fans, lalong-lalo na sa aming boss, Mayor Ina, very supportive and very caring sa aming lahat. Thank you sa baby ko, si Anaya, kay Max, Avenido family, si Dorifa family, mama papa ko, taga Malbago, taga Lawis, taga Cebu. Thank you. Sa teammates ko pala, credit sa kanila.
Maraming salamat, Joseph Sidorifa of the Mindoro Tamaraws. Our best player of the game is brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the MPBL. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet. Ken and Javi?
Maraming salamat, Lyra. Congratulations to Joseph Sedorifa and the Mindoro Tamaraws as they improve to 7-7, which sets up this match between Basilan and Cebu. And magiging mahalaga yung pagkapanalo ng mga kupunan na ito as they make a dent in the South Division. And manatiling nakatutok dito sa Marliga Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. We'll be right back.